Okay, we actually have some questions already for you. This person, Engineer Ifeanyi, if I'm saying the name correctly, she said, thanks, Mrs. Elizabeth Nwankwo. Your session was indeed insightful, and I've got questions for you now. What's the permissible moisture content for dried food to avoid mold presence?
Okay, thank you. Like I said in one of my sections, I said each country we are trying to work with will determine what we do. Excuse me. The moisture content has to be according to the particular produce. Let's say for Gary now, Gary has to be minus. It has to be a negative moisture. That means as good as zero. Moisture in any of these produce is going to give us a negative result at the end of the day. Gary should not have moisture at all. It should be minus 0.000 as much as minus as possible. Thank you.
Thank you. So the next question is from Mr. Sidi Aliyu himself. This is a question for Lady Nwankwo. From our previous experience of product rejection, were those products duly inspected by Nigerian agencies and duly certified fit for export? Madam Nwankwo.
Good afternoon, everyone. This question would have been asked 2015. So this is 2021. We did all the necessary protocol, and I said to you, we kept sending samples to Kent Laboratory to be sure the produce will be acceptable. So if we go by the process we put in place, the UK authority accepted our product before we sent it. Unfortunately, policy changed. And the Minister of Agri even tried their best to see that because those produce were sent before the policy change, they should look into the process and see how best we can be treated in order not to repeat this storyline. But the truth of the matter is that we did give our samples to NAFDAC. As I speak to you, after all this process, I think 2016, 2017, I wrote them requesting for the result of their laboratory analysis on our products. And to be sincere with you, the response I got back is that we did not do any laboratory test. Your money is in our custody and we cannot give it back to you, but you can use it to carry out any other analysis or any other process within our system. It is a written document if there is a need for it. So in order for us not to be going back and forth, exposing ourselves unnecessarily, let's leave that storyline. What is important is what are the things that can lead to rejection?
Oh yeah, it can be a very painful experience when you get caught up in all these policies and non-policies. Sorry to hear about that. Ijoma Chikezie.
So before Ijoma, please, Uncle, it's kind of, it leaves a bitter taste in the mouth, especially for somebody who went through this. But I'd like us to take this question more thoroughly because it's a learning, it's an experience to learn from. It's not, the question I believe was not meant to indict Mrs. Nwankwo for not carrying out pre-shipment inspection. The lesson that I would like us to take away from here, especially for those who are trying to learn from the experiences of those who had bitter experiences in the past. The truth is that we have pre-shipment inspection agencies who collect 0.5% of a Nigeria Export Supervision Scheme charge, 0.5% of the FOB price. Do these people actually check every consignment that is going out of Nigeria? There's nobody on this call today who can answer that question. But that's a question that the Nigerian regulatory authorities in charge of export need to go and work on. If they need to have a kind of division of labor wherein there is also a check and balance, the appointed pre-shipment inspection agents, can we have a check and balance mechanism that actually certifies that they do carry out pre-shipment inspection? That's one. The second perspective on this is the fact that you as the exporter, having learned from this experience, we need to separate this policy point. Yes, it's very, very valid. Policy can change. But in terms of rejection based on quality, it's got nothing to do with quality. So if you are so sure of your quality, if you are so sure that the sample you sent was exact, this, what do you call it, eventual consignment that you sent, please, as an exporter, take one extra step, incur one extra expense. Look for an independent inspection agent. I don't know if SGS is still there in Nigeria, if there is Cotecna and all those independent, you don't have to go to a laboratory. Look for a pre-shipment inspection agent that has a global reputation. In my years as export manager at Stanmark Cocoa, I never shipped one single container without getting SGS to issue a certificate of inspection. So if SGS could not find my consignment okay to go, I would take it back to the warehouse in Ondo town and make the correction. It was cheaper rather than get to destination and incur the penalty of international arbitration. So again, I'd like to us to get a clear understanding of the direction of Alhaji Sidi Aliyu's question. It's not an indictment. It's for us to wake up to the fact that if there was pre-shipment inspection, the instances of rejection at destination will be reduced significantly. And if the pre-shipment inspection agencies they collect your nest, they don't carry out the inspection, I can almost vouch that they don't do it because I don't know the staff strength that they have that can cover the territory that they are given. So a lot of these are things that need to be worked upon by the government through its regulatory authorities. But then again, you as the exporter, cover your back, get a pre-shipment inspection certificate from an independent, internationally reputable agency, and you will be sure that you have covered yourself. Thanks.
Thank you so much for the comments. So the next question will be from Ijoma Chikeze. Please, why are there policies that hinder Nigerian exporters to ship directly from Nigeria? Again, what are we doing to correct this? This is for the three of you.
I wouldn't imagine that this question will be directed at a practicing exporter because Elizabeth Nwankwo does not formulate policies. I will attempt, and I'm sure Alhaji Sidi will have an idea because he also spent a few, or at least as little as 35 years in the government service. Indeed. Yes, there are policies. Yes, there are also policy lacunas in policies that are currently hindering exportation of goods from Nigeria, that are making it easier and a faster option for Nigerian exporters to take their goods by road to Cotonou and go and export from Cotonou. I gave an example for so easy. If you want to take yam from Nigeria to North America, take it first to Accra, because produce of Ghana imprinted on a carton of yams allows that yam to go in there. Why this? It's because at the Ghana level, they have done the engagement that is necessary. So we need to toe the line. Our policymakers need to also engage in international economic diplomacy, which is, as of this moment, without again condemning anybody, but saying it the way it is, which as of this moment is either completely absent or inadequate. But before they do that, you find out what policies they are. That's part of the preparation that I recommended. What are the policies where you are going? What are the policies where you are? If you are talking about policies that hinder export from Nigeria, for example, there may not even be policies written in black and white. There's no policy on port congestion in Nigeria. There's not. There are, however, ad hoc approaches to eliminating port congestion. But does port congestion hinder exporting from Nigeria? I would say a big yes. So what are we doing to correct this? On our own part, in talking trade, we are doing our best. We are talking about it, and we are packaging what your responses are and sending to the appropriate authorities. What is Nigeria doing about this? We are hoping that they will take the advice of experts and practitioners and work on this to improve policy. Thanks. Madam Sidi, please help us a bit.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Boyede. And you were quick to understand that my previous question was actually a leading question. I had wanted Mrs. Nwankwo to explain that despite her products being inspected in Nigeria, she still faced such rejection, and this is not supposed to be. Thank you very much for elaborating that. On the topic we are discussing, that is, why are there policies that hinder Nigerian exporters to ship directly from Nigeria? You will discover that there is no written policy that is made to sort of mitigate easy access of Nigerian products destined for export. It is most of the cases we are facing are man-made policies. At a point in time, we discovered that even for you to attempt exporting your product, somebody is already having the mindset that you are committing a crime, not knowing that exportation or trade facilitation generally through exportation is something that is beneficial, one, to the company and also to the country at large. We are always complaining about the shortage of foreign exchange and so many other lack of diversification of the economy, etc. And it is through this exportation that things like this can be resolved. I'm aware that this present government put a lot of emphasis on ease of doing business. That ease of doing business is to see how all the transactions, either at the port or even before the port, should be reduced to the time wasted should be reduced to the barest minimum so that trade is actually facilitated. And I'm also aware that despite attempt by some agencies to find their way back to the port, that attempt has been actually not accepted by government because already there are a lot of complaints that the agencies are so many, we should introduce a sort of a single window. You know, all these kind of things are issues that if they are really implemented, we hope that in future, export will be greatly enhanced. But to say that there are policies that hinder Nigerian exporters to ship directly, you will discover that such policies are man-made. They are not. The government is actually encouraging people to export and is also putting in all the necessary measures to see that. But unfortunately for us, we are really finding it difficult as a result of some issues, man-made issues. Take, for instance, the port congestion in Lagos. I can say that, yes, the only way out of that is for government to ease up by opening up other ports that could also be used for a sort of exit point for export. People have talked of the Calabar port, the Port Harcourt, and the One. I think the over-concentration of Lagos and Apapa is not really beneficial to the economy generally. And also, we have seen the attempts made to reduce the gridlock in Lagos. A lot of people complain about what happened to the containers, simply getting the product from the warehouse or even from to the ports. Such issues led to the inauguration or the establishment of a high-powered committee headed by the Vice President of Nigeria to see how that gridlock will be mitigated. But I don't know whether it has actually succeeded. So a lot of people on their own, they are now taking the extra cost of making this shipment from other destinations. Like I know a lot of consignments going through the One port, and some have even started exploiting the Calabar port. So I think for now, that is what I would say concerning these policy issues.
Thank you so very much for the contributions. Your comments actually, it will lead me to a question I intentionally skipped before, because I was thinking it would need one or two people to contribute apart from both of the experts on the field right now. However, you have opened the floor for this question. This is from Billy Shingu, Bevex AE Agro Limited. He says, can any of the experts share experiences with shipment from Apapa and One? You're on mute.
I can share the experience from Apapa. I don't know about One.
Okay.
And I don't know, it was not here. On the last town hall meeting, Empnen Town Hall, I did talk about my own container that there was a shipment I was to use for Christmas sales in Canada last year that was procured, and container was loaded, final loading 24th October. It didn't get to ship side in Apapa port until 11th of January. Christmas was 25th of December. So that's my own experience. And of course, there is a lot of other problems that then happened in the container, to the container, because of that prolonged difficulty, including some of the products getting expired inside the container before they arrived to Canada. So that's part of these sad experiences. These experiences are not peculiar. They are not so few and far apart. But the truth is that the policymakers are either unaware of them or are shutting a deaf ear. That's the reason why when Titi Ojo, one of our past guest speakers, mentioned, you will recall that this month's edition is actually an outcome of discussions that we had on the Talking Trade WhatsApp group. That's why we decided to have a proper webinar on it in September. And it was because of that that when Titi mentioned, let's hold a town hall meeting, that I said, oh, okay, Talking Trade, we're not only going to join you and partner with you, we will also help to supply inputs, including persons, intellectual. Of course, those of you who attended that meeting would remember that I accepted to present the lead paper, and we also had 2 or 3 members of the Talking Trade platform as panelists in that. So the best thing that we're going to continue is to talk. Nobody ever got hot talking. If they don't know, they will not act. But I'm glad to inform you that at the end of that town hall meeting, the CBN representative, what's her name now? One Madam Chuka, actually promised to work with the NPLEN, and very, very soon there will be a bigger engagement between government, this time led by the CBN, and the practicing exporters. Please be sure that on Talking Trade, we will keep you informed of all developments in this direction. And of course, I have a very, very strong feeling that that will not happen in our absence. I have a very strong feeling that we will be involved in the process that sets up this bigger engagement.
Thank you so much. Any other person has anything to share on this? Okay, I go to the next question. It's from Mr. Adeshino. It says, are there labs in Nigeria we can use for testing the produce before export?
I answered yes on the chat. I did yes on the platform already. And if I may add a little bit to this, the idea of NAFDAC or direct government agency testing might not work because they have all other things to do. I think like what Mr. Boyede said earlier on, to assign laboratories that will check on their behalf. Like when you go to UCH, UCH will not carry out laboratory tests on you. They have designated laboratories that they refer you to, and they trust their judgments. I think that is one of the issues that we have encountered in the past, and that is one of the things that also delay the NAFDAC certification. So there is need for more of this laboratory that can carry out tests, analysts to be provided for the public so that they can know where to go. There should be a portal where we can get all this information. If you go online, you should be able to type and see all the laboratories where you can test, and it is accredited by NAFDAC or Quarantine or for the international body. Thank you.
Mrs. Nwankwo and Malam Sidi, I don't know, maybe after today's webinar, is it possible for us to work with the Director General of NAQS on this particular issue? I know that they were very, very interested during the town hall meeting. Let's see so that we can at least provide an answer to the teaming exporters there who actually would like to test. Just a thought.
Yes, I think we can do a letter to any of those agencies that we want to invite for this discussion, because it is not going to be only private to private sector discussion. I think it is high time we also do a sort of B2G, that is business to government. The government agencies will be willing to clear more, to share more lights, like NAFDAC. NAFDAC at a point in time was crying for not having accredited laboratories. And I think they got a grant from the US aid. Yes. And there were also some technical assistance from some of these donor countries to upgrade the laboratory in NAFDAC. So yes, it's true. NAFDAC can, as at now, execute certain level of testing for the product, especially if it involves getting the specification of a particular product. They've been doing that. But whether that, the analysis will be accepted outside the shores of this country is another issue. And that is why we keep on emphasizing on the issue of certification. Having your product certified is a sort of guarantee for its acceptability in the destination market.
Sheyi?
Sorry, Uncle, if you don't mind, and Sheyi, I saw something that is quite lengthy on the chat box, and I would like to talk about it in a minute. Danladi Kaje says, thank you, Boyede. Please, it's B-O-Y, there's no G. for this opportunity, Talking Trade, which provides very valuable information about international trade. I want to request that subsequent monthly discussions should consider discussing startup organizations who wants to or have attained some level of trade business preparation without any export experience. With all these daunting challenges facing the export business, especially during COVID-19, where there are more stringent measures placed on the business and very high cost of operations. What practical solution can this group suggest without referring us to government intervention programs, which to me are just formalities? In essence, how can experienced exporters provide a shoulder for a startup prospective exporter to have a first-time successful export of this product? Thank you very much, Mr. Kaje. You have answers inside the question that you have asked. And I will I want to assure you that the in-house team will break this question down and apply separate your solutions. One of them is so quite simple. You are asking it as a question. How can experienced exporters provide a shoulder? I am seeing it as a solution. Experienced exporters will be encouraged to provide a shoulder for startup exporters. That's the reason why the announcement she is about to make, that's the reason why it actually makes sense. Ask me anything. It's not me, Olufemi Boyede, alone that you are asking. It's all the experts on this, our group, that will look at questions such as this and bring solutions that can be of benefit to us all. Of course, internationally, technically, hand-holding, which also tantamounts to mentorship, is one of the tools of preparing micro enterprises for the international marketplace. And so we are also plugging into this. And for as long as you remain with us, you will also obtain the value that will be packaged and delivered to our adherents. Thank you so much.
So good day, everyone, and thank you very much for joining. Like Mr. Boyede has said earlier, we will start an Ask Me Anything series, and it's basically an opportunity for people to get very precise, detailed answers to their questions. We understand that many people have questions, and it's not just enough to respond to them in this 1 hour, 30 minutes. So we're trying to come up with something that will be detailed and that can stand, it will be some sort of documentation so that we can always refer to it from time to time. So we really do hope that you be a part. I put up the screen earlier. I'm unable to access that, but we hope that you can, on the WhatsApp group, drop your questions. We'll pick it from there and share it with a group of experts, and they will now come back to us with very detailed answers. And after collecting per edition, we'll publish it in a documented format for us to refer to it as a wonderful resource for our growth and for reference as we continue on our exports or our trading business, as the case may be. So we really encourage that every one of you be a part of the WhatsApp group. I shared the link earlier, and that you can drop your questions when the window is open. It will be open just for a brief period. We'll announce on the group page, and then we'll collect all the answers, collect all the questions and provide answers to them and get them back to you for reference purpose and for educational resource. Thank you very much.
I, of course, will want to thank the team again that have been with me working behind the scenes, as well as the experts out there that I reach out. I know, for example, that it did not take me 5 minutes to persuade Mrs. Nwankwo to come and share her experience, and it even took a shorter time to talk to Malan Sidi. and to the other experts that are agreeing to sign up to the Ask Me Anything, we want to say a very big thank you. At the end of the day, I don't know how they always use this illustration about the richest place in the world is the graveyard. And a lot of people say it is the richest place because a lot of people die with the wealth of the knowledge that they have. So if you want, you go to the graveyard and excavate or exhume this knowledge. We on Talking Trade, we want to be completely empty by the time that we are put in the soil. So even at pro bono, we want to express, to disseminate that knowledge and expertise that God has given us or that we have acquired over the years. And we are very, very, as you can see, all of us here, we are cheerful, we are happy. And so we are very happy to share knowledge. And we want to encourage one another as well as you out there that this is the way we want to go. And this is the way that we're going to build a stronger global economy, helping one another, learning from one another, and pushing one another to do that extra that makes us become extraordinarily successful in international trade. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Thank you so very much to everyone once again. And thank you to everyone that joined. Without you, we would not exist. Thank you so very much. See you again next month. If there's any question we have not answered, please put them again on our chat group. We are always there, and they ask me anything is coming up. Thank you, everyone. Have a very wonderful month. Kemi Amusho is my name, Lady K.
Thank you very much, Lady K. Thank you, Mr. Boyede. Thank you so much, Mr. Aliyu.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you.